Welcome back, Rare Talks. You already know where it is. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't, make sure you go over to the Spotify, check out the exclusive episodes that we have on the Spotify. And today, I'm joined by a special guest. You know, I always bring on special guests for you people. All the time, I bring on quality guests so you people can learn, get educated, and learn some new stuff about life. But today, we got a special guest. Introduce yourself, my brother.
Gwenton Slowly, happy to be here, brother.
Come on, man. So you got Gwenton on. Gwenton has his own podcast. So if you want to go and check that out, it's going to pop up right now on the screen. Wow. Check that right now. So yeah, man. I've been seeing what you've been doing, man. It's been amazing.
Likewise, bro.
I've been seeing what you're doing. It's been amazing. I feel like with podcasters, we don't link up. We all like in our own little own worlds. We don't really like, let me go to his podcast. And I don't feel like we do enough of networking between each other.
I think, again, we have to look at the caliber of podcasts. Because if someone else would have asked me to come on and I didn't respect them or respect what they're doing, I wouldn't come. I'll be real. I'll make up some excuse I'm out the country or something. Because integrity and consistency means a lot to me. And I don't want to see a man doing podcast today and then tomorrow you're doing something else outrageous. It's like, make your mind up. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
Be consistent with what you're doing and stick to what you're doing. Don't do this and then trying to do everything else at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's why I stay in my own lane. Even it's gone as far as where a man said to me in the week, yeah, you do podcasts. I said, no, I don't. What I do is like, this is your life. You remember old school where they used to bring you and give you the book? Yeah. The red book. That's what I'm saying that I'm bringing back, where if someone wants to come to me and I document their journey, I'm happy to do that. But I don't want to be looked at as, when you think of podcasts in the UK, you think of gang members coming on, gangster rappers coming on. You understand? Like people like me and you, we're like rare in this whole podcasty world because you're learning stuff here. Over some of the other podcasts, you're not really learning nothing. And this is the problem why sometimes you don't even want to be put in the same league as...
Trust me.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even feel right that you're put in the same league because what they're doing is totally opposite to what you're doing. Yeah. I see what you mean.
It's outrageous. And the thing is, again, even what you just said, it's like I come on your thing, then you just see like 50 man, all podcasters going round and round in a circle. You're like, I can't learn nothing when you do your own show. So am I going to learn something when you go on your other brethren's show? It's just two mad people on a podcast together.
But that's entertainment. People like that stuff. People love that stuff.
Yeah, and what you just said there is true because there's a lane for that because there's some people that wait every week to see the madness.
Yeah, that's what
I don't want to see the madness. You understand? If it's not sensible stuff, I'll lock off.
Straight. So, getting into podcasting, what has been the hardest thing of getting into podcasting for you? What would you say has been the hardest thing?
For me, if you look back through some of my podcasts, I was doing this when people didn't think it was cool. And we were doing this like on, what was it, Periscope? Old school thing where I was going meetings and I was thinking, right, people don't even know what I'm doing. So let me invite them into my world. I'm putting it out there. At that time, it weren't cool to be doing podcasting. All of a sudden, lockdown come and everyone's a podcaster.
Everybody's a podcaster.
So, so when I saw that, I thought, you know what? I'm not going to beg no one to go on their show. And what I try to do is everything I do has to link into something else. So I just finished running for the mayor. I'm like, do I go and start a magazine to have my own voice? Do I set up my own newspaper? No. Let me have my own visual because a lot of the young people and their parents will come into me for advice. And I was making short videos. So I was making short little 5-minute films. And a lot of the young people found benefit from watching those scenarios. So from there, the parents were ringing me, asking me advice about this. I thought, you know what, let me just do a little podcast on it. And I was just one late night when I brought the equipment and done a podcast, but it was just for parents. So I don't have to talk to one, then the next one.
You just make one video and that's enough to suffice.
Right. So that's how I come in it. It weren't for to interview rappers or ex-gangsters. It was nothing. It was just all educational.
That's good that you say that because I didn't even know you was running for mayor, man.
Yeah.
What borough?
Hackney.
Hackney.
Yeah, so what had happened is I ran 2 by-elections before that. In 2019, I ran in New Cross, no, in Catford, Whitefoot. In 2019, I came fourth there because the Green Party didn't run against me. And then in 2021, I went for New Cross, another by-election to become a councillor. And the Green Party like, Gwent, and look, the pollution down here is high, we're going to run. I'm like, cool, do your thing. I still came fourth. I beat the Liberal Democrats. And for those of you that know, the Liberal Democrats is like the third biggest party in the country. So to beat them was a big deal. So what I had was people saying to me, oh, you're not even from Lewisham, why are you running there? Come back home and run. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be a politician. I'm just making a statement that we can do this. No one can't stop us. Put out your own money and run. Change the narrative. You understand this? Like how much people have come from our walk of life and then running for government office. It's never been done before.
Never.
All right. So I said, you know what? Next election come out, I said, I'm going to retire now, but I'm going back home. So I've gone back to Hackney and I said I could go for an MP, but that, what's an MP? It's the same as a councillor. Joke. So I said, no, let me go for the top seat, put down the grand, best £1,000 I've ever spent in my life. And with that, you get to go in a booklet. So with the booklet, it goes into everyone's door. It's called a one drop. So with the one drop, the postman drops off a booklet into everybody's door. So everyone in Hackney got a booklet with me in there. So within the booklet, they give you a double-page spread. And I said, you know what? Let me put both my grandmas in there. One of them's just died, my mum's mum. My dad's mum's still alive. So I said, let me give it to them because they've been here for years and people need to know. You understand what they've gone through. So I just put both of their pictures in there and sent it out. So it's bigger than Gwent and running an election. It's like, no, I'm going to bring my grandparents with me on this. And it's about man that I've left on the road still robbing people or selling drugs or pretending to be gangsters. To see that, right, you've gone home and your brethren that used to be out here on the pavements with you is now running for the mayor. Anything's possible. And I remember about a week after I ran the election, the so-called leader of Hackney reposted it and said, oh, everyone go out and vote because he doesn't know that voting's on the 5th, so he's pushing it like the 11th. And I looked at that and I thought, look at this. Only when he then said, yeah, vote for my man, then all the so-called rappers and gangster podcasters from Hackney start reposting it. Half of them don't even talk to me. You understand? But they start posting me. And I looked at it, I thought, you know what? I'm not even going to take it personal, but it just shows that now their bosses put the bridge down. They've felt comfortable to post me. And I just laugh because most of them pretend now that they're changed or whatever. And they're some of the biggest podcasters out here. We know each other. You understand? And what they're portraying, to be honest, is not the truth, but I leave them to that. But the point what I'm showing is we could do whatever we want to do in this place.
100%. And you know what? I like to hear things like that and see things like that. I feel like it's good for people that come from where we come from to see people from our backgrounds, with our stature, with our cultural heritage as well, running for things that are noteworthy. Because, you know, I never forget, I had a conversation with someone and they said the reason why a lot of kids don't want to become these things is because they see nobody in those positions or anyone come from where they come from. So it's like if you don't see people in that kind of light, then you're never going to want to inspire to be that. So, but if I did tell you, oh, there's a black astronaut, the first black astronaut, it was a lady. Did you know that? What? No way. So that means my daughter could grow up and be like, I can be an astronaut. It's not something that's out of her reach. Does that make sense? So,
but there's a disconnect there. If she saw a female closer to her age saying, boy, I'm going to run for an astronaut, or I'm going to go and study to be an astronaut, it's a bit closer to home. It's like, wow, wait, I could do this. When you're like, there was a female astronaut like nearly 100 years ago, all right, sounds good, but I haven't seen one since. So sometimes we have to keep the dream current so they see that it's tangible and achievable for them to actually do that. 100%. And I think that's where the disconnects come with us and the other generation, where some of them have done some amazing things, but unless you go into the library or the archives, you won't even know about it.
Facts. And that's why I said it's important that we are seen to be doing things and they have role models that they could look up to rather than rappers, gangsters, and trappers.
Yeah.
Because if that's all the role models a youngsters growing up in his area seeing, he's eventually going to become a product of his environment. With enough time around him and enough bad influences, social media is not helping him at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I respect that, man. Running for mayor, man. Was that hard, running for mayor?
It's a process that you have to slow down and learn. And the first time I ran, I was emotionally running. So I was running because I was having some disputes with certain people in the government and certain other fractions at the time. So what I was doing was saying, you're not going to break me. So you think you're going to harass me? I'm going to show you what time it is. You understand? So
I love that. I love that.
So you understand? So the first one was like, let's go to war then. So you warn me over here. I'll let my lawyers deal with you. But as my lawyers are beating you in the court, I'm going to go and run because you're not going to break me. Because what we tend to see is when people really go to war, they think they could give you a breakdown, make you start feeling like, what's the point of being here? No, we're not going to do that. You've messed with the wrong one. I'm going to war you in plain sight. I'm going to have the media watch this. It was fun. It was like, ha, ha, ha. You understand? You think you're going to move to me? Let's do this. And why I've done that in plain sight is for others to learn. Always be ready for a check. When you start, the higher you get, one day they're going to come and check you because they can't believe that you're not up to mischief. They can't believe that you're so successful internationally and you're not doing nothing dodgy. So the minute that they make a mistake, they believe that they've unraveled you doing something dodgy, not knowing you've just made a mistake. Now apologize, pay me, and go away. You understand? So we could have avoided all of that, but I'm glad it happened because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have gone into politics and learned what I learned and achieved what I've achieved. You go to the Google search now, what comes up? Mayoral candidate 2022. I love that. You understand? So these are the thing about you control the narrative and the algorithm. When someone presses your name in Google, it's meant to come up with what you want to be seen on there, not what somebody else wants to either tarnish you or put on there. And this is what people need to learn is understand your worth and how to use the internet to your benefit.
Sick. That's mad because, you know, I'd have never thought I would have typed in and then see like a black guy running for mayor of Hackney because they don't make these things seem like they're realistic, like that we can achieve these things. And that's why I think like it's important that we put these figures, because you know what I've seen in our community, the figures that we put at the top is like the man that just come out of prison. Like we're celebrating him like like champagne, like big Bentley, like music video, everything. We're celebrating the negativity. We're celebrating that man come out of prison. But we'll see a black man going for mayor, we won't even celebrate him.
Because again, we have to be mindful that when you get to a certain level, people switch off because they just don't understand. And that is come from whether it's ignorance or just a lack of knowledge. I remember for years people were like, oh, he works with the police, or I was moving people on witness protection. I didn't tell them to get stabbed up, shot or murdered. They went and done that. I'm just cleaning up the mess after. And I used to get so upset and frustrated because a lot of the rappers you see here, I've moved a lot of them. If it weren't for me, they wouldn't have their properties. A lot of the gangsters you see, I've given them 1-bedroom flats. Because of GDPR and confidentiality, I'll never disclose that. But a few of them, when I was running for mayor, said, oh yeah, my man gave me my house. And I was like, rah, it's took you this long now to be proud that I've housed you. But until then, it wasn't cool to say that I gave them a flat. And I think we have to understand that the further we go and bigger the margins get, is the less people understand and are able to comprehend what you're actually doing.
Yeah, that's crazy because you'd never think that your growth would be stifled or being looked or misinterpreted by people that came from where you came from. You'd have thought that they would have been the most happiest for you and the people that would have been egging you on the most. But majority of the times, if I'm honest, because people don't, like you just said, people don't understand. So it looks foreign to them. So what looks foreign is we fear what we don't understand.
Yeah.
So if somebody sees you growing and going up there, like, wait, what's my man? He's a fed. He's a snitch. Man. So that's the kind of stuff that's the ignorant mindset.
And that what you just said there is such an important point. 90% of people that catch bodies, meaning murders, become informers when they end up in court.
100%.
90%, if not 99.5.
Bro, do you think anybody wants to do that 25 or 29 for you? And you're the one who you juked him. I was with you, but brother, I didn't juke him. I didn't even know he was going to kill him. Yeah. What are you talking about? And then man will say, I'm not snitching, I'm defending myself because he knows I've never done it. He should take the rap.
Or the one that, what we've heard in America with Gunner and Young Thug, there was only 2 of us in the car, but that gun's not mine. You know, like, so if it's only the 2 of us and you're saying it's not yours, then it must be the other guy, which is me. And these are the things that I say to people. Don't be quick to call people snitches. I remember when I left the road, I had people that them and their family are historical informers. Like, things happen to them, they call police, press charges, archives in newspaper. They were the ones that had the audacity to be calling me a snitch, till I had to remind everyone, like, wait a minute, are you not forgetting, because time have gone past, that these people are on government archives for snitching. And
it's wild.
Listen, even your own siblings, like, you'll say to your sibling, oh yeah, can we go and do something? And then because you become successful, your sibling walks the road telling everyone, oh yeah, Gwenton said this. And I'm having to stop people and say, wait a minute, isn't that snitching if your sibling tells something that you and him agreed to
100%
when you were cool, but now because you're not talking, he's going and telling the people, oh yeah, you know, me and my brother wanted to suck you. You're like, bro, you can't do that.
And man's not even on that anymore. Like, man's trying to drag me into a pit like that. Man's not even in.
What you just said there is a point that I didn't even remember to say to people. I've so far gone. You know when you've even apologized to everyone?
Yeah.
So for a man, because he's hated, to be trying to get, because really he's trying to get you killed. For you to go and tell the next man, I don't think my brother's this lovely guy, he wanted to rob you. It's like, come on now.
You're trying to line me up. And I've left it as well. You know, the same thing happened to me not too long ago. Like, people are talking about something happened in like 2007. Oh, he got shot. I heard you was going to ride for him. I was like, bro, it's 2023.
Yeah.
Whatever mindset I had at that time, and he was my friend, was then. But he said, I see you better times after. I'm like, bro, it's like 10 years or 15 years after. Would you think I'm holding malice for you? Like, bro, I'm moved on with my life. I've got kids, I've got a family. Like, I'm older now, I'm more mature, I've got a business, I got stuff going for me. Why am I thinking about riding on man? Like, bro, live your peaceful movie. I'd even tell the guy that even got shot, brother, in life, you're still alive, you still got life. Move on. That's the kind of mindset I'm on now. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to ride on, man, at this age. Like, we're kind of older, brother. You don't really want to be getting that big 29 or 28 at this age. Because if you get that right now,
you're gone. You'll probably die in prison. One of the things that we have to highlight is this: when people are in a certain environment, their mindset could only evolve so much. It's like having a goldfish in a small tank. The goldfish is only going to grow so much. You will grow as far as you've got people around you with the intelligence and articulate enough to structure things and dissect it for you. If you've got a bunch of people that are still on the same corner, still talking to the same people, still getting the same women pregnant, all of their children are cousins and brothers and whatever, you cannot blame them for being trapped in the past. It's like when someone brings up stuff like what we're just speaking about there, that was 20 years ago. You knew the old me.
Thanks.
Like you're talking about something like half of my life and more, you know, like, come on now. We're on the way to 50. No one cares about that.
Nobody cares. Like, I definitely don't care.
But the thing now, we might not care because we're in a different space. Those people have not left. It's like when people talk about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. For us, that will be post-traumatic stress disorder, being with them, but they're in current stress disorder because they're still in the same disorder. So it's different. It's like a soldier being at war, but he never leaves Iraq. You're going to constantly be in a state of distress. 100%. And that's how people are that have not moved forward.
I don't get it though, man, because for me, it's like you bringing up something from that we done when we was younger, or man's mindset when was younger. I'm a whole different person, and I feel like I love when people see that I've become a whole new person. I love that because it shows you where I've. Because if you can't see that as my friend, then you're telling me, yeah, remember when you was younger? Yeah, I remember, but you know what? I kind of want to talk about now, like because the mind space that I'm in now is now future, not past now.
Darkness.
Because that past doesn't define who I am today.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, it does, but it doesn't. I'm a whole different person because my mindset's changed. I've got more responsibilities. My life, everything's changed for me.
Yeah.
So for me to even be in that mindset, so if I talk to a friend from old school, like I got old school friends, and I can hear that he's still talking the same. I was with one of my friends like a year ago. I don't roll with him anymore, but I was just with him for one day, and I realized why. Not that I don't like to be around people, but I've seen that some people's minds are still in when we was little kids.
Yeah.
Like mine was just looking at every single girl on the road, and I'm looking at him while he's doing it, and I'm thinking, was I like this once? Was I? What did I used to be like you? Like every girl that walks past, I'm just looking at.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's like you're not focused. Because if you're looking at all the girls, bro, when are we focusing on like the bigger things than just women?
The dangers and also the dangers of getting them women, and understanding about HIV and AIDS, understanding about taking care of all of your children if you go and get all of the girls pregnant, understanding that girl that looks oh so super sexy in the outfit might be also super sexy with about 10 different men. Are you going to get emotionally attached and want to catch a case because she's cheating on you?
Facts.
And that's the truth, because if you're going to look at someone walking down the road and think, oh my God, I just want you. How many other men have looked at her and thought that? There's no respect for that woman.
Never. The funny thing is that your friend though will actually think in his head, like just seeing all these women, that's what life is. But see me, life is, I've traveled, I've seen things. And I always tell people that, you see, if you stay in this country for too long and don't travel, yeah, or see the world for what it is, your mind becomes attached to little areas. See, when I come to my area now where I'm from, Tulsa, I drive around like this area is so small.
Small, everything.
Bloody hell, bro, what was I doing around there? I felt restricted.
Your mind, it's like when I go back to Hackney and even the buildings look smaller, and you think to yourself, wow, imagine I mentally trapped myself in this environment. And what hurts as well, because this is something that you might be able to relate to, is when others come from the same area pretending that they've left, but they're living off fake past. 90% of it not 100%. True. And because social media has given them the platform to pretend that what they're saying is true, and we can't now come out and fact check them, because then we look like bullying. So you have to sit there knowing this guy is telling lies. But you have to ignore it. But it's also doing damage to young people, because if I'm a young person now and I'm watching that, I'm thinking, boy, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing because that guy said he was a gangster until blah, blah, blah. And I could live that long. 9 out of 10, you're going to get murdered or in jail
100%.
Before there. So that's the dangerous thing of some of these people.
Or you're going to get mental health. That's another thing that they don't talk about. How much people that you grew up with that were roadmen, that were gangsters, now you see them, you're like, brother, what happened to him? And he doesn't even know you. It's like he's in a whole other voice. Like, you see dribble, you're like, oh, this is the biggest you influence.
I was on the train one day and I saw a guy, and this guy was one of the first guys to be shot in our age group, making paper, everything. And I saw him on the train, it broke my heart. Same thing what you were saying. Slurred. He recognized me, and you could see like the excitement behind the darkness in his eyes to see, rah! But the words couldn't follow what his eyes were saying. And his clothes was dirty. And I got off the train, I still touched him because I don't want him to feel any way. And the fact that I'd done that to him, he was so happy that I didn't just, oh, hi, take care, bye. And what I'm showing is, regardless of how you are now, take care of yourself. I don't know if I'm ever going to see you again. And that's one of the most hurtful things when you've left that life. Enough of them people, you're never going to see them again.
Never. Half
of them are going to end that die, half of them are going to end that section. When I go and work in the prison now, the amount of them I see in there doing life sentence and that, and you think, oh yeah, I remember you. Or you're talking to them, but you can't remember their name, but you're pretending that you know who they are. And you find out they're not coming out for now. And you think, boy, look at this. This is where you end up.
Wasted talent. And you know, it's funny because, like, I see some of these people and they had talent in different areas. Yeah. And that's why I said that anyone who, and I say this openly, anyone who can run a drug empire can run a business empire, because it's no difference. You see, the people you see in suits and you think that they're all clean and stuff, when you really start to check their lives, these guys are doing some dirty, offhanded taxes. This, bought this house to write this off, and I gave to this charity, but only because I wanted to write off these taxes. And he doesn't really care about nothing that he's doing. He's just doing it all for a financial gain, which men are doing on the roads. But it's about how do you take them transferable skills and now put them into entrepreneurship, as people say.
But it come back down to this again. It's like we look at things like TikTok. If you want to learn maneuver your money, we're talking, let's say there's a drug dealer here, and the drug dealer's sitting in the background saying, all right, I'm on your show, show me how to change my life. First thing I'm going to ask, how much money have you got? How much friends are you drug dealing with? Let's say there's 4 of you. 4 of you put £10,000 together by the end of the year. And why I'm saying end of the year, that's just under £1,000 a month. If you're drug dealing and can't make £1,000 a month,
then give it up.
Give it up.
Because the truth is, you can make more from a 9 to 5. Okay. And it comes with less risk. It comes with less men trying to kill you. Because men are always looking for your food, you know. Like, there's always a man out there saying, man, I'm shutting on about, I don't trust it. Man thinks there's younger kids that are growing up thinking, I'm going to suck you. You don't see it because you're in it. But trust me, there's people out there plotting on you. Then you got the feds, bro.
Yeah. And the thing again is this. Somebody wants a promotion. So if they could take you down, they get a promotion. And this is how this works. If you're the person that no one's been able to send to jail, and if we look at the Incro chat the other day, the amount of people that were backwards drug dealing, and I'll say openly, backwards drug dealing.
They got too comfortable.
No, backwards drug dealing. From the 90s, people were doing drug dealing and knew not to trust phones. How could you be using a phone thinking it's encrypted and just blasé-ing everything on the phone? It's backwards thinking. It's like now someone goes and catches a body and records it.
Stop it, because I'm being real with you, Gwenton. The little youths now will do it. It's a statement now. It's like, this is culture now. Bro, if they catch their ops, they're pulling their phone out first.
I was with a client in a week here. We're driving. And every landmark we went past, snap. I said, stop. You've just murdered yourself 10 times. What do you mean, bro? What are you talking about? I said, you've just given a running commentary
of where you're going.
You've just murdered yourself 10 different times. And again, who sits down with these people and talks sense to them?
No one, because they're learning off social media. Everything they're learning is from social media. So social media is a dangerous place. Yeah. Like, show your ops that you're on their block. All right, cool, you're on their block. My man's come out with a dotty now. And he's hit you with a dotty. Yeah. Like, now everyone say, oh, he was a good dude, he was good. Bruv, what was he doing on the ends?
No, but if he doesn't die, what does he do? I was 10 toes in on the blocks, or he goes to jail. Free my guy. or he's in hospital. Mum, give me your phone. I need to log into my Snapchat. Take a picture of me on the bed, showing my ends, whatever gang sign it is. Because what he's showing is, you couldn't kill me, even though my arm's paralyzed and I've got a colostomy bag. Free my brethrens, I'm riding out.
I think that mindset is wild, you know, to have. Like, I think
they're different.
I feel like that's the most destructive mindset. And I feel like from colonialism to slavery to being in council estates, from the government taking away fathers from their households, from all of this, this is the byproduct
from parents as well. I think parents feel hopeless now.
But remember, back in the day, your parents could buck you up. Now parents are scared.
You didn't even need that. Just a look and you'll stop. You know, like, that's all was needed at certain times.
Now, if you're talking to your child or treating them in a certain way, child abuse.
Yeah.
So now your child feels like they got power. I just call police and child abuse. They take me away.
Or dad, run your mouth. I'm gonna bang you up. As a man, because this is something I was saying to a friend the other day. As a man, your son says to you, keep talking like that, man's gonna set pace on you. Meaning, I'm gonna move to you, dad. As a man, successful man, what do?
I'm punching you up.
And then you go to jail. And then you lose everything. Then you're a child abuser. Then your other children are on the child protection plan. Now you're in jail for what? And you've lost everything.
It's wild that it has to go down like that. And that's why I feel like the more, if I'm being honest, the West has destroyed this family unit. It's destroyed it. It's destroyed it. And it's only getting worse as time goes on. There's only more detriment and more detrimental that it's becoming, because I'm not going to lie, yeah. And now I looked at it, I thought, yeah, my parents kind of beat me bad, you know. But you know what, yeah? Kind of made me did have respect.
I would never press charges on my parents. I tell you
never,
why.
never, no.
When even I talk to my children now, and I've changed the way I talk to them now. So I say to them, "You're not doing nothing for me. This is for your life. I've got my life. Everything I'm telling you is for your own benefit." With our parents, they would beat us as if we're disrespecting them. not as if they're trying to make sure that we end up where we are today. And that's how I ring my dad sometime. I'm like, you know what? I apologize, because my oldest son certain time will give me some stress, and I'm like, is that what I used to do to my dad? And I have to apologize now, because I realize what the man was trying to do. You understand? Just to make sure that I get on the safe and narrow, and I'm able to stand on my own two, where I can raise my own children. A lot of these youths can't even cook. A lot of them can't clean.
Can't even do their bed, bro.
Okay. So how are you then sleeping with somebody else's daughter and about to get them pregnant and going to live with children? So now you're bringing children into this world when you yourself can't even look after yourself.
That's wild. And I see it so much, because you have to understand that the generations have changed, but to a detriment of the you see, our parents beating us. It was never for a bad reason. See, even when I look back at it now, I'm like, even made me tougher as I was growing up anyway.
100%.
But then on the flip side of it, now I see that, like, I see my children, I'm like, bruv, do you know what? You know, when I was your age, you know, I'd get smart. You know what you just done? You're dead for that, you know. You can't even do them things. But now I'm looking at them get away with it, and now I see their behavior's getting worse, because they don't have they have no one to look up to. You know, someone back in the day say, "Yeah, watch me tell your father or tell your mother." You're like, "Wow, I'm gonna tell my mother."
I give you the joke about it now. Our parents and our grandparents, and they'll be the ones that, "No, leave them." You know what I mean? Leave them. When it was me,
I'm not gonna lie. I heard my dad say that about a few months ago. I looked at him and thought, "Brother, you're telling me not to be harsh to the kids after you mashed me up? Look what she just did." He's like, "You're talking too heavy to them, talking soft to them." I'm like, big man, you never talk, even to this day, you don't talk soft to me. So why are you telling me?
They look at us different. And I said that to my dad. It's like, I said, when it's my children, you're like, "Oh, no, man, don't worry." And I'm like, what? When that was me, my face would have been rocked off already. No talking, just your jaw's shaking. But it's made me who I am today, and I give thanks for that. But
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Do you think that parenting has changed in the last 10 years, of how parents change? Because now we have social media, I feel like, and like we got all this internet and stuff like that in the house, because I never really had all of that stuff when I was growing up.
I didn't have that. We were the generations that saw the phones come in. We were the generations that saw the pages come out and all of that stuff. These young people, I'll be in the house, my children are around, and they're in their room. You have to WhatsApp them. Or they don't even want to have dinner with you because they want to watch some American,
or on their computers,
or something. You understand? So it's like everything's so virtual that we as humans, even me and you, we've communicated with what phone call. Everything's online. It's like boom, boom, boom. This time, link you. It's done.
Yeah.
Somebody else would be ringing because they're panicking. "Oh, brother, you still," and all of that. It shows the way that the world's gone. I could go the whole week without having a telephone conversation with anyone.
Yeah, you know what? I was looking at my phone book today, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's like I had a phone call like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
But I don't feel a way about it. I know it sounds weird.
Normal.
I don't feel like I'm out of place.
Yeah, it's normal.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just thinking, if social media was taken away, I know I could survive because I've been here before.
Yeah.
It take a little adjusting to, but I'd be back to normal. I'd be going back to, I have to go and see people. And then that means that the people that actually MVP to me would be the people that actually see. But just imagine, if we was in the generation now, would we be on the same thing the kids are on today?
I think so. I think with change, everyone adapts. When we were growing up, you had to put money in the phone box and ring your brethren, or if you're gonna ring a girl, you quickly use your house phone and hello, blah, 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 and put down the house phone, hoping that you're not running up the phone bill. When a mobile phone come in now, you wait till it crashed and you get the, what was it, free voicemail
Free
and all of
calls,
that.
the one-to-one.
So
Them times there.
yeah. So them time there, we never had credit. What credit? You hoped that it crashed, or you send a text. There was always a way to send a text, or you understand, and that's how we move. But unless someone in your batch was privileged and their family brought them one of them, what is it, 3 after 6 or 3 after 7?
Yeah.
And they would ring everyone. Yo, my man's here.
And you know what? There was already one person that was the link.
Yeah.
So he would phone you and be like, yeah, we're all here. And you'd be like, all right, cool, I'm coming in.
Yeah.
And that's how we used to link up when we was growing up.
Yeah.
Like that.
Or you ring the next man that's missing.
Yeah.
Because you are the only one with credit.
Or we'd go to his house. Like, man then came to my house bare times and I'd hear, a whistle, and I'd look out and be like, hey, mum, I'm just going to the shop quickly, yeah? She'd be like, what, at this time? I'm like, yeah, just quickly, mum, the shop's just around the corner. I just want to drink. Yeah. I'd go up, not come back for like an hour or two, but I know I can't mock it too much because my mum and dad, even though they didn't really care, they was on it.
Yeah.
Like,
but they knew you weren't the guy in the shop. You just wanted to get out. But
they knew.
Yeah.
So that my mum would be like, I'd have like a curfew, but it wasn't set in stone.
Yeah.
So mum would say you got a curfew, but I just know not to ramp. Doesn't make sense. Like, you can't come in this house 10, 11 o'clock. My dad would be like, bro, where you come from?
Yeah.
You think you gotta take my house for a hotel? You think my house a hotel? You think you ramp with me? And I'm like,
my door will be locked. Even yesterday, I was talking to my dad, and what I used to do, me and brother, I used to climb up the wall and knock the window. So our bedroom window is on the back of the house, but you have to climb up the garden wall and knock the window. Whoever's in lets the next one in. I said to my dad, rah, the neighbours must have thought we were sick because like now you're a big man. It's open for everyone to see that you're climbing in the window. We can come in the door. That door will be locked. You have to stay outside. You understand? If you got a car, sleep in your car.
yeah, you know what's funny? Like, I remember my dad done that to me once. He changed the locks. Like, I was going out, I was taking the mic, and I knew what I was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
But one night I was out late with the man them, and I said, "Oh man, it's gone past 12. I can't even go home now.
Yeah.
I gotta stay out with you lot." My friends, everyone's going home. I'm like, bro, I can't go home. You don't get it. Like,
You've gone past the threshold.
yeah, I'm dead. As soon as I get through that door, I'm dead.
Yeah.
So it's not. I'm scared. Like, I'm actually scared. So I've said, all right, cool. Let me go home. I've gone home. I said, let me try the sneaky thing, like sneaky.
Quiet. Turn one.
Bro, I turned the key and it's locked. So I'm knocking the door now, like, bro, like, you lot have changed the locks. My dad come to the front door, looked at me. Man standing there looking at me. I'm like, open the door. Man just looking at me, you know. Man just shut his door, had the double lock on it. I was like, bro. My mum feels bad. She's like,
let him in.
let him in. He's like, no, I'm not run rule. Am I here? I'm not run rule. I'm like, what do you mean run rule, blood? I'm just out. And then I'm trying to come with an excuse. Then I'm like, bro, now I don't know what to do. I'm like, I have to knock my neighbour's house or something and chill for the morning.
But you see what you just said there about your dad. If it's this generation, they'll be like, open door for man, bang you up to the dad. No, but do you get where I'm coming from? That is the difference now. The mum will be scared because she knows you're going to get punched up when he comes in the house.
That's mad to even think. I don't even know how that mindset even works.
Listen, I'm telling you, this is standard. Mums are getting punched up by their children in the house.
Mums?
Every single day. This is the new thing now. A lot of mums are getting beaten up by their sons and daughters in the house. Give me money to go out or I'm going to punch you in the face. So the point what I'm saying is, when we're talking about domestic violence, men against women, women against men, the domestic violence that no one's talking about is the children beating their parents. Standard. And I'm not talking just a one-off. I'm talking this is like a generational thing where they beat their parents. And this is facts where I see it on a daily. You understand? Where if you talk to them a wrong way, your jaw's getting rocked by your children. Yeah? This is what's happening now. The biggest craze. I'm not talking London. I've worked in Southend. Same thing. It's like they've got an untold language where they beat up their parents.
What?
Listen, man, you need to put out something out there and ask people to send back a survey of who's heard of children beating their parents. You'll be shocked to see the amount of people that come back with that.
You see, a lot of women are suffering in silence. That's why I think that the father needs to be in the life.
No, but check this. We just spoke about the father before. You cannot do nothing. What are you going to do apart from call the police? If a youth says he's going to punch you up, what are you going to do? Fight with him?
But my son can never say...
You've got a charge waiting for you.
Yeah, let me get that charge in. Well, you can't threaten me or your mum.
Listen, bro.
Bro, I'd rather dead than let my child do that to me.
I'd rather you go to a hostel straight. The minute you start getting gangster with us, get your little bag and go to a hostel, because I'm not going to lose everything.
No, I'm not going to lie. If my son threatens me and it's on a thing like where I'm going to lose everything and I'm in a good position in life, brother, you know what? You can't even come back in my yard again.
Yeah, that's me.
Go to grandma's house.
No, you're not even going to go to grandma's, because you'll probably go and disrespect grandma as well. Go to the hostel.
But you know they never disrespect grandma's house.
That's what you think. That's what you
Because you know grandma's a gangster and granddad's gangster.
No. Old school grandma's a gangster. Grandma now babies our children. Yeah, our generation children get babied by our parents. So it's not that. You understand? It's not, trust me, I have a lot of mums that I speak to and they're suffering because what do? Report their children. You know what happens when they report them? They get put on DV Marek, and if they get a fine, who has to pay the fine?
The parents.
Exactly. So you've reported your child, you then get a fine, and you have to pay the fine, and he comes back home because you have to go pick him up from the police station, and he beats you on the way home for getting him arrested. So what was the point of doing it in the first place?
That's wild.
Yeah? And these are the things people are not talking about. Where's the support for parents? Like, people are quick to blame parents and call them bad parents, but no one sees the suffering that parents are going through. And a lot of it starts from the school, where the school tell them, like, the way we might want to talk to our children, the way that we've been brought up, you can't even talk to them in a harsh voice without the system saying that you're abusing them. And this is the problem. You have to be like, oh, don't do that. Don't go there. Or everything becomes abuse.
That's wild though. I've never heard in my life of a child beating their like, remember, I'm from a different era. Like, even if man's mum was a nitty, man would never think, oh, I'm gonna put hands on my mother. Yeah. Because mothers are always the most precious person, especially if the dad's not there. Like, the son feels like he needs to step up and take care of mum. I've got to be the protector of mum, not anyone else put their hands on mum.
The times have changed, and I think if a young person's out there watching this, they have to learn to respect their mum. I think a lot of them don't realise that their mum risked their life bringing them to this planet. And that is 9 months of you could have died or something could have happened to you. And then after the 9 months, the amount of stress and heartache that the mum goes through for them, all of that's gone out the window. It's like you're just taking your mum for granted.
But do you think that has a role to do with the mother removing the father from the child's life? Because majority of times, if a child has a father in their life, even if the child, sometimes the father doesn't need to say, I'm going to back you up, you know. His vibe, his energy around you. Like, you know, even when I come in the house and my son's doing something mad and he looks at me, he just stop it automatically. I don't have to say nothing to him. Yeah. I don't say nothing to him. I just look at him and he's like, so it's like that that little bit of fear that kids have to their parents, their father, is actually a good fear. I didn't realize it. I thought it was a bad thing, but you know, the thought, I never even had the thought in my head of even putting my hand on my mum. Ever, never. It's never even gone through my head.
Things that you don't even think.
But I know that if I was ever that stupid to do that, my dad would have, brother, I'd be dead. He would have murdered me.
My mum was about 5 foot something, if that, or 4 foot, and she would have cut me up. That could never happen. You know, like, forget the dad. My mum would have, she would have murdered me on the spot. You know, and again, something that I wanted to touch on. These youths think they're gangster to everybody. So who's the one person? It's like a computer game. Who's the one person that you need to pass to say you're a certified gangster? Your dad.
That's mad.
Yeah? So the minute you G-check your dad, as they call it, you've now conquered, not understanding, your dad just don't want to get a charge. You've not G-checked him, and furthermore, you're not 18, because if you're 18, it'll probably be a different thing.
G-checking your dad's not gangster though. It's like,
but
family members.
This is what they think. It's the same thing like walking in your house, badding up your whole house, your siblings, your mom, your dad, and just doing whatever you want. To them, the road behavior comes in the house as well.
But you know, that's why I know these guys ain't gangster at all, because the real youths that were really bad, they'll be bad outside, but come home and be
Respect.
like, yeah, mum, sorry,
Yeah,
mum.
respectful.
I'm going to carry the bag. Sorry, mum. I should have come this. I should have done that. They might have a little dispute, but it's always respectful. Does it make sense? But like coming in your house and trying to bad up your mum and shut up. You think you're bad? Like, raw, thump up your boyfriend. What? Like on some bad boy thing.
And what you just said there as well, the mum's single mum, now she wants to get a new partner, and the son's walking around with his top off, intimidating the boyfriend.
Or going to the kitchen, or making up noise, or screwing you up, watching you, all of that. And the funny thing is, he don't even know who he's ramping with. He could be ramping with a madman.
You know what you just said there? This is what a lot of these young boys don't understand. I always say to my children, don't go trouble people's children because you don't know who their dad is. You don't know who their siblings are. Don't do it. And the same thing goes to youths. Don't think because you see your dad working and whatever, think you could cross the line with him. And even if you try cross the line because you think you've got away with it, means that your dad's an idiot. No, your dad just knows if he wakes up that lion, he will probably put you to sleep. So the best thing is to walk away.
And that's the big man. And that's the big man thing about it, that man can walk away and not even want to retaliate with you. Me growing into this grown man that I've become is that I don't think to war every person. No. Does that make sense? Sometimes I walk away from things that I know I probably could win.
It don't make sense.
And it's not even like I'm scared. I know I could get one up on you and I know I could do something, but that doesn't, I'm not interested in trying to prove points to people at this point in my life. I haven't got no points to prove, like, go on, let's fight then. I'm like, bro, like a man was calling me the other day, he's like, like online, he's like, come link me, bro, come link me, innit? You're a bad man, I'll show you what I'm about. I said, brother, you think I'm going to come and link you? Yeah. Like, in front of all these people, I'm like, brother, I will never come and link you to waste what? My life for you. Come on, man. I said, grow up, man. We got big things to do.
It don't make sense. It's like when people give you death threats and you're like, stop it, man. Just behave. And again, this is something where I always say to people again, live in your lane. If you're trying to be someone of respect, don't go and buy jewelry or other things that make people want to try and come and take them. This is another thing. It's like, if I got my watch on, I might not want to give that up. So you know what, best thing, I don't wear my watch.
It's facts. Because look, you heard the story about the little youth that got killed?
Yeah.
When the gal lined him up?
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying. A man could just see you out with your watch and think he's going to take it because you look like somebody that he could take your watch, and next thing you're on the charge because you didn't give up your watch. So these are little things that nobody tells you when you're transitioning. There's a certain way you have to move. If you've got a big car at home, just get a small car and drive that in the week, because a man might want to rob you because he keeps seeing you in your car and think you got money. So it's about, the more you move forward, start changing even the way you dress. You could afford Balenciagas or whatever, leave them alone. Because a suit might cost more than a man's Balenciaga, but because you got the Balenciaga on, he wants to rob you. Because my man's turning it up, I'm going to suck him. Don't go to certain parties where gangsters go.
Facts.
Because once you've left that life, you shouldn't be in that party in the first place.
That's how you get the lucky leg shot or the lucky head shot, and you don't even have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
You even have nothing to do with it. You're just standing there.
Yeah. It could be even your own family's party. I got family and they have parties, and if my spirit told me not to go, I don't go.
Straight. And you know what? You see that feeling there? That's called, I call that man's intuition of man's grown intuition. Because when you was younger, you used to love, you get a thrill.
Quiet. You tell it, be quiet, because it talks to you, but you're like, be quiet.
You be like, what? I'm pulling up there, man. You dumb.
Yeah.
You have the feeling like, it's going to be madness. But I think man can scare me if I'm a prick. So that kind of attitude is the reason why a lot of men are in the grave right now.
Yeah.
A lot of men are in the grave right now.
Or prison. Because you're like, I'm going to go with something. It's like going to carnival. You're like, I'm going to go carnival, but I'm carrying something. Just in case. And that just in case turns out to be you're on a murder charge or you end up dead.
Yeah, because someone done something small and you thought, flip it. Before he does me, I'm going to do him. And you got it on you, so you're moving mad with it. Or you're more braver. And this is the funny thing, because when you have, this is what I'm trying to say, I didn't realize that when you was younger, the things that you thought gave you power, it wasn't really giving you power, it was giving you destruction. So someone thinking, I got my mash on me, I'm powerful today. So when he comes on the block, he's got a different type of energy. My man's like, he's on to anything. Like, is he started? What's my man looking at? Like, he's on anything.
But it's like drugs. If you look at most man them that do drugs, before they started doing drugs, they weren't the person they are after they do the drugs. They turn like, I could rob anyone or kill anybody because they're all on drugs. And it's the same thing that it does to them, because I've grown up with people that, like, but the minute they start smoking crack, they are wild, the Wild West, because whatever the crack's doing to them is making them think that they can do whatever they want.
And that's the sad thing about this like false pretense. But you know what? I'm so surprised that there's actually like kids actually harming their parents.
Yeah.
Like, because as mad as it sounds, bro, I got smoked when I was younger by my dad, but I never thought of actually harming him. Maybe I thought a few times,
respect,
I might have to mash him up, guys. He's mashing me up bad. But my mum, that was never even a thing. I've never, and I don't even remember, because if my brethren was doing it, I'd lose respect for him as my friend. Like, right, you tumped up your mum.
We only had one friend when we were growing up that used to fight with his mum, like fist fight. But because his mum was more like manly, we didn't see it as, bruv, you shouldn't be doing that. We thought, right, your mum banging you up and he's fighting back. Now as a man, you look at that, you're like, my man was off key, bruv, like punching up his mum like that.
That's weird, bro.
But that was only one of our friends that ever done that.
I just smoke, man, if I heard men touch something, man.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's like, it was like an off limit. Like I said, the game's changed so much now, and how everything looks is changed so much that things that I was off limits before are not off limits now.
But look now, they're recording punching up people's mums in the street.
Did you see that video?
Yeah, sorry.
That was disgusting.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't know what the person done, but you see the fear that I saw in that mum, regardless what her child done, she didn't deserve that. But again, this is where we come back down to, when you're troubling people, they might have had enough of you and decide that, you know what, the only way to stop you is I'm going to trouble your mum. And imagine me and you walking and our children troubling people, and there's someone want to come box us down, we're coming from work or something. And this I always tell my children, don't go trouble people, because I'm out here, I'm not involved. If someone attack me, I'm calling police, because I don't want to catch a charge. And I'm pressing charges all the way to
Straight,
court.
you're a civilian.
I want compo, I want it all. Straight. So anyone out there thinking they're assaulting me, make sure you know you're going to get sued. Straight. No, because, come on, if you go and box up a celebrity, is Jay-Z going to fight you?
No.
He's suing. So I'm going to deal with you just like the celebrities. You assault me, I'm pressing charges.
Straight. Because I think a lot of people don't realize that. You see, men still want you to be this gangster.
No, I'm not.
Man's a civilian now.
I'm a civilian.
And I'm a proud civilian.
100%
And I'm a proud civilian.
You hear what I just said? I'm 100% civilian. Not like the other podcasters where they're civilian but road or civilian but rappers.
Yeah.
I'm 100% civilian. You get where I'm coming from? Assault me, I'm suing. Straight. If you call my name in a way that I don't like, I'm suing. I'm taking you to the small claims court. So anyone out there thinking of mentioning me in a way I don't like, you will get served. Straight.
It's real.
What?
No, but I think that's more of a mature and more of a grown man's approach.
It's safety. It's like a rapper walking with a gun. The securities cost £17 an hour. Go and rent a security. That stops you from going to jail.
That's actually the best method of staying. And you know what? That's what people think. Oh, I'm not a snitch. I've got my gang around me. I've got my man. That is the stupidest thing, because them same guys, you're even ruining their lives. Because if they get caught with a gun, then they're going for 17 years. What are you going to say? But you're going to say free them and then put them on a t-shirt and then send them a little money.
£20 a week and then start answering the phone calls after. And these are for the people as well that want to hang out with their friends and protect them. Don't do that. It's stupid. Straight. It's stupidness. If your brethren's a rapper, they should have security
straight
and still drop you a chain. They shouldn't have you as the security where you go to jail.
It's too dangerous. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If we should have security around us, and I should still be rolling with you.
Yeah.
That's how we're meant to be rolling, bro. Even if we pay a little bit more for that, it gives us safety, because security know what they're doing.
But you know you could get military security, like big Russian men.
Of course.
With the earpiece to walk around with you for cheap.
It's super cheap, but people don't know this, because we're so indoctrinated by the roads, thinking I'm gonna look at these youths. They got famous in their ends, and the first thing they thought, let's buy mashes. Dumb, because they said we need protection.
From who?
From the ops.
What ops?
The ops that we're beefing.
You're a musician.
Thank you very much. They got up.
So let's do it. What ops?
The ops down the road.
You shouldn't be there.
Why not?
because you're performing somewhere, so you can't have opses. Because you're on a flyer showing where you're going to be for the next 12 months. So how could you have ops?
Them man are onto me, bro. I need my thing.
Come out the area.
Nah, man. I love this area. This is what made me.
Then you deserve to be in jail.
Straight.
Simple. We've just solved the whole problem for them. Go and get a house from the council. Tell them you're a musician, you can't afford a house. Make sure you could pay your rent. You could get private rented. If you're making enough money, pay the £1,500 a month and you go and live out the area. And if all of you are making £1,500, just live in a big house and your whole rap group live together off the ends and pay the rent for the whole house.
That makes the most sense, but you have to remember you're talking to people that are financially illiterate. So,
but we've just given them game.
Yeah, but they're gonna even if you give someone game, it's like taking a horse to water, but they're not gonna drink.
We've just given you the solution, so now you can't play ignorant. Any rap group out there that think they've got beef, look for a house in Surrey or one of them quiet areas, Guildford or somewhere, and look at the rent, and between you and your brethren, you break that rent down and leave the ends. Done. No more excuse. So any rappers we see getting arrested after this, you deserve it. We've just given you the way out.
Facts.
Done.
Kind of need is like one security guard. They don't need 10 security. One security guard is good enough.
If you think about it, you don't even need security because some of the places you're going, you don't need to go there. If you know you're not meant to be somewhere, just don't go there.
That's a fact. But I think a lot of people go there for the hype.
Look, we need to overcome that. What we should be hyping about is you saying, look, guys, I'm a rapper and look what businesses I've got legally. Look at all these houses I've got legally. Look at the cereal that I've just brought out. Look at the drink I've just brought out. These are the things you should be showing people and encouraging people. Leave the country, go and get a house in another country. Your options are not there.
100%. I say that if your child is involved in a gang, I always say to people, look, gangs operate in areas. If you can get your son out of that area, and I'm talking about out of the country, because I know a youth that was in a gang in London, he moved to Manchester, still got smoked.
Yeah.
Because he was still involved with the people. You see, there's no point of leaving the lifestyle and still having the same friends. You got to change your whole circle.
But then send them to Jamaica or America, they'll get smoked even quicker.
That's what I'm saying. Send them to Africa. Why not?
Yeah. But then even in Africa, you might get smoked if you go to the wrong part.
Of course, but you're less likely to come from the UK.
Send them to Turkey or Greece. Not Turkey, they got earthquake there. Send them to Greece or somewhere like that where there's no gangs.
Qatar. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's the safest, one of the safest places in the world.
Only thing with that though, make sure you tell them before, if you go commit crime there, you're gonna get the 100 years.
Yeah, 100. I hate when man go to Dubai and say, "Oh, I'm in jail." Like, brother,
you knew what you were doing.
You have to know. You can't go. I say to anyone, don't go to a country you don't know the laws. You know,
Yeah.
because just in Uganda recently, they've just done a anti-gay bill. Yeah,
Okay.
they said, look, no homosexuality, you're going to jail for it. Now, if a gay person goes there and says, yeah, I'm going to do my thing, they've already said this is what we don't accept.
Yeah.
So I feel like people need to respect the norms of when they're going to countries. You don't go to Dubai and say, I want to smoke weed. You're out there smoking weed, feds stop you, they grab you, you're doing 5 years for a spliff.
Yeah.
Like, that's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? So I generally think that people need to know what they're doing and how they're doing it as well, because that's where the problem lies.
I think any environment that you're in, adapt yourself to it, understand it, and try and better yourself from it. There's people out here that deserve to be in prison because they want to be in prison. There's no excuse. If we look at the internet, for example, how easy it is for people to make money. There's jobs you could do from home. There's a man on the road that begs you for £1, and within an hour, how much money does he make? If you're that broke, go and stand up in some dirty clothes and beg at the cars. Simple.
Hey, man ain't gonna, this is what I'm saying. Man's got too much pride, but then their pride stops them from actually doing the right things.
Beg with a belly on.
Man said beg for bad.
Simple.
Man,
Yeah.
But now we have social media. You can make money from social media.
Yeah, but people ain't got the time. They want someone to give them handouts. It's like I said to a guy the other day, come with me and I got certain jobs. Oh, but man ain't got time to be working all day. So why are you complaining that you're broke then?
Like, recently I started a business course, yeah, and everyone's like, but you ain't been a businessman for that long. What do you have to give to the world? And you see, that kind of mindset, that person, I had to just cut them off instantly. But it's wrong for us to think that we don't have the expertise of these other people that think they have expertise. Because everybody that got somewhere is because they done stuff to get somewhere.
You see, if you got people around you that come with that sort of talk, cut them off. You see, again, people that try and give you anxiety. Oh, don't do this because of that. Like bare negative talk, cut them off. I've been running my own business now from 2007. Yeah, we got contracts all over the country. When the attack came, what was the first thing they went after? My business. Why? And that's what you have to look at, because you've been watching the growth of the business for a while and you didn't like what you were seeing, so you tried to destroy it. Now I'm suing you. You're going to pay me damages and the organisation.
I think that's the most best way, because I sued someone recently. They gave me some money and I was surprised I even got the money, but they wanted, I call it, if I'm honest, I call it hush money. Because what they done against me was illegal, but it's only when I started to find out. You see, they wanted me to go there and fight fire with fire, like go there and be the aggressive black man. Nah. They wanted me to go there and be like, yeah, what's this? I said, no. I got my managing director. I said, I want a barrier between me and you, because as a black man, no matter what, if I come there, what are they going to say? What's the first thing they're going to say?
You're aggressive.
So, and then they're going to call who?
Security. And the police. Yeah.
And then what happens now? I've caught a case when they've done me wrong. Yeah. So what's the point of that? All right, let's go to the legal terms. I filed these in a normal court against you.
How much should it cost? Because this is something we're breaking it down again. How much should it cost you to file that?
Free.
Okay.
Free.
Yeah.
I paid about £30 to speak to a solicitor to do with that law. They gave me all the breakdown of how they broke all the laws. I took that information, I passed it on to the court. The court went to them. They got the thing. I got a phone call from the CEO. He said, how much do you want? I said, this much. He said, no problem. It's in your account tomorrow. He gave me my money. I went quiet.
And again, why do you think a lot of people join unions? Unions is like paying your car insurance. You pay it until someone plays with you. And this is why a lot of people go to work and they don't join unions. If you look at the people that join the unions, they're the ones that don't get no trouble in the workplace.
You know what? That's funny, because my mum's part of a union, and then I've always wondered, she's done everything's in. That's the reason she's in the union. But I've been in that union for like 10, 15, 20 years.
It don't matter.
She be paying her little money. They send her little things through the door.
It don't matter. The minute somebody talks to you wrong, the union will deal with them. That's what the union's there for. Yeah, the union's like your workplace barrister.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they know the law. They will take them to court. They'll do all of that. If you see all the fire people striking and that, this is the first time in years the unions are getting shine in the news, because they've just been collecting their money for years. But now people are actually seeing the face of the union, because they have to say, yeah, we're going to strike because we want more money. Same thing with the doctors and nurses. Who's the face of that? Their union.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand that. It's all about the bread. And I see that's the money that you pay in is a reason for it. It's like house insurance. I remember my TV broke. I have house insurance. Phone, I got a TV in like 2 days. I was like, wow, this is very quick.
But these are the things that people don't teach you. So when you start learning that, you realize, wait a minute, everything's easier than I was making it. Your phone breaks, you pay the £8 to get a new one. If you didn't have the insurance, you have to buy a brand new phone. It's just processes in life. And when people are talking about it's hard, we come back down to a drug dealer. You're not making £1,000 a month, but the guy working in Tesco's has got a new plate car and he's got his house on mortgage, all from Tesco's, and he makes more than £1,000 a month, and he's not going to get arrested. But you laugh at the man in Tesco's because you got on Balenciagas and a few pair of Gucci's. You're a joker.
I think that a lot of times it's the lifestyle that the person's laughing at them. Like it's like, look at you, bro. You have to go work for them, and I'm self-employed. Like that's what a drug dealer would say.
No drug dealer is self-employed, because you're getting food from somebody, so you're a worker. Straight.
It's facts.
Even if you're buying it up front, you are buying some of that guy's bulk. If the guy's got 20 kilos and you're taking 5 of him, you've just come and removed 5 pressure off him. You're still his worker. The plug is your boss. So when people running around, oh man, no work for no, you do. And a lot of people are not even paying for drugs up front. They're lying. This is why they got little boys working for them.
Consignment, yeah.
Somebody's consigned them couple boxes and they've got about a month or two to move it, and they're beating up and punching up the little kids because they need to get that money back to their plug, or they might get smoked.
Facts.
Yeah? Or they rob the little youths so they could double up. Oh, no, you're not getting paid for the rest of the year. But you sucked the youth to pay your plug quicker.
You know, that was a story. There was actually a story that I reported recently about that. They said that the rapper forced the little boy to sleep in a trap house and sell drugs. Now, I had to break that down. There's so many factors to this. There's so many factors to this. The guy exploited the young man, 100%.
Yeah.
But the little boy wasn't forced, because I remember growing up, a man saying to me, I want to make money. So they'll go to certain orders and they'll send them OT. That was the game. Yeah?
All right. If you sleep with a girl at 16 now, what's that?
What do you mean?
If you
consensual, yeah.
If she's 16, that's consent.
Yeah, if 16 is consensual
or
age.
15, then let's move it to 15.
No, then that's non-consensual.
So how can a youth at 14 consent to sell drugs then?
Because he's put himself forward to do it.
No, but we're talking about sex and drugs, same exploitation. The reason why they've got the NRM, which is the National Referral Mechanism, which came out for the Vietnamese people that was found in the cannabis factories, they were being forced to water them cannabis plants and play with the electrics until the crop grew. They were getting arrested and charged. The government then said, we're not going to prosecute these Vietnamese people because they're victims of their circumstances. The same law now applies to young boys under 18.
Yeah, it's the Modern Slavery Act.
Exactly. So once
they actually done a youth for it.
But what I'm saying is, once you're under 18, they're saying you have not got the mental capacity. We know. But I'm just saying, you've not got the mental capacity to consent to this act. Even though the guy told you, yeah, you get £400, like, yeah, boom, I'm going. What train am I getting on? They're saying all of that is called grooming because of your age.
I can see where it comes from, because I now looking back at my life, at myself, I can say that I have no respect for certain elders, even though they put me on. Really, they groomed me, if I'm being honest, because I wanted to make money, and this is what you showed me. So it's like I was part to blame in it as well. I can't say it was all him, because if I said I didn't want it, he wouldn't have given it to me. But I said I wanted to make money, so he gave me whatever he gave me, and I took that and made money with it, and then brought back to him and kept coming back and forth. Instead of him saying, you know what, why don't you get a trade, or this life's not really good, and man showing me mashes, man showing me guns, man's like, he's showing me the lifestyle. So in my mind, I'm thinking, raw, this is
Where's the older now?
Yeah, it's all mad.
Okay, so as we come to the finale, is this: only 1% make it out.
That's a fact.
Only 1% make it out without mental health. Only 1% make it out without a prison sentence, and only 1%, like me and you, we're the 1% that are not dead. And again, there's another small margin of us that are deluded, that pretend that we're out, but when the cameras are off, we're either 1 foot in dabbling, or we keep doing stuff to feed the darkness. It's like when you see most rappers, they're rapping, pretending they've left, but they're feeding the darkness still through the music.
Wow.
Yeah?
Wow.
If you're out, you're out. You can't be out and in. Make your mind up.
Facts.
And it's like a man giving up rapping, then somebody gets them excited and, oh, jump on this tune. And you're like, I thought you was a businessman. I thought you was this multi-millionaire. Now you're here rapping again.
And the stuff you're rapping about.
Darkness.
Yeah, and that stuff, I feel like when you're putting yourself in that mind frame, all you're doing is putting yourself for destruction again. Because if you've left a certain destructive mindset, I feel like with the music, it's like you have to live up to a persona. Because somebody's going to test you eventually, you know that, right?
Listen, and I'm not ashamed to say it, I inboxed a rapper recently, and I told him I'm actually embarrassed of what you've just said on this rap song that you've just done. And you should also be embarrassed, because you're a part of the problem. I tell you why I done that. They pretend to be businessmen. Oh, look at us, we've opened up this, whatever it is. We've got contracts with these people. Then you come back jumping on songs with little kids rapping gangster stuff.
You're part of the problem.
When does it stop?
I feel like clout is the new drug. Remember people used to smoke crack back in the day. Now people smoke clout. So clout is a very dangerous drug, and an older man that is loving clout, he's destroying himself. You know what I'm saying? So
That one gone off?
that one gone off.
Yeah. What, just gone off? Okay. All right, so we wrap up.
Yeah, so we'll wrap up. But yeah, man.
So we're gone to the hour. So
we've gone past the hour. But yeah. Aye, people, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell everyone your socials.
Yeah, so at the Gwenton Show, you could find me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and also Instagram and TikTok as well. So the Gwenton Show, easy to find.
Come on, like, comment, and subscribe, and we're out.